Alright guys, I'm back with another video, and we finally got the hey guys, I'm back with another video, and we finally got the CGC box in. So let's open that bad boy with my box cutter. And I sent this in. This is a, let me just open it first. This is a Campbell signing, in-house private signing that I sent these books in for. I already know the grades. Doesn't matter, it wasn't a big surprise to me. But there's a couple books that I thought could have got a grade bump and they didn't. But that's fine. I mean, they're still pretty rare. So yeah. So they're all yellow labeled, and that looks amazing. So I'm just gonna put the box on the ground, and let's do this here. Let's, as I pull them out of the box, I'll just set them right here. And yeah, so let's start with Amazing Spider-Man 4, First Silk, Sydney Moon Becomes Silk, 9.4. There's a reason I have two of them, and I'll get into that. So you can see there's the Campbell signing. I know which one this is. Was pre-slabbed because the signature is right here. This was an 8.5, and I'll do a screen recording at the end. I'll attach this to the end of the video of a picture I uploaded to my Instagram. It's the same handle, at Spidey Comic Collector on Instagram, and I uploaded a picture of everything that I submitted. This was a slabbed book, an 8.5. Got it signed, pressed, and regraded, and it came back a 9.4. Now let's whip out the other one, and you'll see the other one should have the signature down here somewhere because it was raw. Yeah, here we go, up the side. And I specifically asked him for silver, so a silver signature on this specific raw one as well. And the raw one was also not in the best condition. I know it didn't have a shot at a 9.8. I thought possibly, it was going to be like a 9.0, a 9.2. Nowhere near did I think it would be a 9.4 or 9.6. As you know, black covers are very, very hard to get a 9.8 in. Fortunately for me, I have a 9.8 in this book, but it's not signed. I sent it into CGC to get reholdered because it had a bunch of scuffing inside the case. So this one was an 8.5, and this one was raw. Again, I'll attach a screen recording of the of the picture. And then I also had this one raw. So I'm just gonna start stacking them now right here, and then we'll get into the good stuff. So I had this one raw as well. And yeah, so all the raw ones, I did my own window bags. And I like the signature on the side of the book. I don't mind it in this placement. Obviously, I didn't have I didn't really have a say where this signature was going to be placed because it was pre-slabbed, so it was just up to them. And their window bags are kind of like, they only have like this as the opening. Those yellow CGC window bags. So I sent this one raw, and when I bought this one raw, he sent me this one for free. So I just threw it in there. I was like, what the heck? I know I could probably get this already signed and slabbed for a little bit less than what it cost me to slab it myself, but there's something about, it's gonna sound kind of dumb or corny, but there's something about sending your books in and getting them back as opposed to buying a book that's already slabbed and graded and stuff. There's like a feeling you get, the process of this being your book that you picked out and deemed good enough to send in, and it was a 9.8. I believe this is my first 9.8 I've ever gotten back from sending in a raw book. But yeah, so this will probably be a longer video. Probably lots of talking. If you hear noise in the background, it's probably my bunny just messing about, running about the room. But yeah, really stoked. My first 9.8. As you can see, I'm a big Campbell fan. Now, this one is interesting. Again, this was already pre-slabbed. CGC green label, qualified label. As you can see right there. Now, so I have a couple things to say about this book, and a couple things that I'll show you guys that I did. I'll do a screen recording or whatever. I'll attach it at the end, along with the, you know, I sent those books and stuff. So this one says on the cover, it says, you know, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows #1, signed by J. Scott Campbell on October 26, 2022. Then it says Dan Slott written on the cover in marker. So they don't, obviously CGC don't verify signatures. Dan Slott signatures here on the bottom. Now I have, or I had, no, I still have it, but I sent it to CBCS, a raw cover, a raw book of Amazing Spider-Man 4 First Silk Campbell variant with a double signature, Campbell and Dan Slott, but it's raw, and it had a certificate of authenticity, signed at New York Comic Con, I think, but this was back in 2014, 15. I forgot what the certificate said, but when I get it back from CBCS, they send you certificates back. And this is a book that I might send to CBCS to qualify both signatures. I mean, to verify both signatures and just get an all black, all yellow label. This is definitely a book that I will send in. I'll have to do some research. I've heard that the signatures, they kind of can come off when the books come out of the inner well. So I'm not sure what I'll do there. But really happy to have this book double signed, Dan Slott, Campbell. It's just, you know, a signature qualified grade. They marry the yellow verified, you know, witness signature with the unqualified signature. So I probably will send this into CBCS. I sent this in pre-slabbed, green label. It was a 9.6. It retained its 9.6 grade. This book is kind of expensive to get in 9.8. I see a lot of them going for, you know, over $600-700. So I was hoping for it to maybe get a grade bump. It didn't. If it would have got a 9.8, I don't think I would have had the guts to crack it open and send it to CBCS, or have them crack it open and regrade it for me, just to not lose that grade. But it got a 9.6. So I think that was the plan. If it got a 9.8, I would just keep it as is. If it got a 9.6, definitely get it sent over to CBCS and have it full yellow label. Hopefully, you know, with a little clean and a press here and there, it can get a grade bump, hopefully. I did send in a Black Cat #1, Le Chat Noir, which, give me a second, I'll show you exactly what book that is. This book is just a printout, so don't worry about that, and ignore the sticker. Another book was in here. This was a printout. This is a printout that I have as a display because I don't want the real one to get faded away, and this is the historical reference. I'm not going to get into that, but I sent this in, Campbell signed with this black C, and then the rest of the Campbell in red to match the title here. I sent that into CBCS. I sent in the raw double signed Dan Slott Campbell Amazing Spider-Man 4, and then I sent in another just signed raw Amazing Spider-Man 4, just signed by Campbell. Both in silver, I believe. I feel like silver looks better on this black cover, and I should have waited a little bit longer. I sent those out yesterday. I just sent them out yesterday, and then I sent in an Amazing Spider-Man 4 Burst Silk 9.6 CBCS to get reholdered because it had an old case and it's kind of getting cracked open. So we'll see how those come back. Those will be months before they come back, but I'll probably send this on its own. I should have waited a little bit longer. I didn't, or else I could have sent this one in too. That's a really big mistake on my part. I literally just sent them yesterday, so I could have just waited a day. But I'll be super excited when they come back. All yellow labels, hopefully high grades. And like I said, the plan is this got a 9.6. I will be willing to send it in a CBCS. Hopefully it gets a grade bump. If it would have got a grade bump, I sent this in as a green 9.6 anyway. If it would have got a 9.8, I would have just kept it as is, but it didn't. So let's keep stacking. Now, your full attention here. These are some of my favorite books. And I'll probably go in numerical order here, just because. Amazing Spider-Man 601. Now you're like, 601? That book is not even rare. This is a newsstand edition of 601. There are no 9.8s in existence for this book. This book is very rare as they come. I apologize about the glare in the back. Let me twist this here. I have my PlayStation on, my PS5 on. To have it, there's like a Modern Warfare shipment, Modern Warfare shipment update, but this is a 9.4 newsstand edition with the error on the, what, I don't know if it's an error, but this is how they were printed with the Sensational Spider-Man on the UPC label. That's how that's how you can distinct if it's newsstand or not. I had no say in where the signature placement was. That's actually a pretty good placement. Usually that's where you kind of see them. I would have preferred for it to be maybe a little bit lower, but also I didn't want it to interfere with the newspaper, and maybe up the side a little bit, kind of like this, but that's fine as well. No 9.8s in existence. A 9.6 is super expensive. Maybe the prices have fallen now. They're super rare. There's like 40 or 30 on the census, I believe. If you correct me if I'm wrong, you can check that for yourself. It says newsstand on the label. But yeah, really fascinated with this book. I'll show you, I have like a bunch of other ones as well. But yeah, it's gonna keep getting better here. Amazing Spider-Man 606 9.6 newsstand. Now there are 9.8s in existence, but I think it's less than 5. It's some ridiculously low number. Again, newsstand from 2009, Amazing Spider-Man 606. This cover is very sought after if you're a Campbell collector. Again, newsstand on the label. Black Cat, Diablo, Madam Web appearance. Not really too significant about that. It's more about the cover art, in my opinion. Again, here is the UPC label. It says Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, as where the 601 said Sensational Spider-Man. This one says Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and it's clearly an Amazing Spider-Man title. There are 9.8s on the census for this, so I'm pretty sure there are, yeah. Kind of bummed about that this one didn't get the grade bump. This was a 9.4, this was a 9.6 when I sent them in. At least they came back, retained the grade, and are signed. That's the important part, retaining the grade. Wanting a grade bump is all nice and dandy, but if you cannot retain the grade in the first place, you are taking an L. So retain the grade is the most important part. Now to finish off this unboxing, Amazing Spider-Man 607 newsstand. Super happy about this. Retain the grade. I think there are 9.6s and 9.8s on the census for this, so I was kind of bummed about not getting the grade bump. Again, the fact that I just retained its grade is amazing. Newsstand edition. Again, don't want to get into the specifics of how rare that is. You guys can check that out on GPA, go collect. The populations are super low. And Sensational Spider-Man. The populations for these books above these current grades are super low. It says Sensational Spider-Man on the label. It's obviously an Amazing Spider-Man title. That's how you denote the difference between, the main difference between newsstand and direct edition. I do have these in direct edition. I'll whip those out in a second. I guess this kind of turned into a Campbell collection, like what my Campbell collection consists of, but I'll whip those out in a second. So again, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I guess now I have to whip them out. I do have 601, 606, and 607, all in 9.8s. Direct edition, unsigned. So these are really, was kind of just a personal thing, personal preference. I really wanted these in my collection. They are newsstand, they're super rare. And I wanted them signed. So here's the 606 and a 9.8. Here is 607 and a 9.8. And here is 601 and a 9.8. They're in bags right now. So that's why they're not as clear, but I'm not gonna go through the trouble of taking them out of their sleeves and showing you, what they look like, so completely transparent. These cases are awesome. The new CGCS cases are awesome. And so that's why having all these in 9.8s, it was a really big deal for me. I'm gonna stand up just so I can start laying them down. It was a big deal for me to have these in a in newsstand form, and I'm willing to bet that they're more valuable, even though they're lower grade. The fact that they're newsstand just makes them more rare. But yeah, that was just a big thing on my part. All these Campbell covers, and I have a bunch of stuff. They're not all Campbells by any means. This is like 90% of it. But this book deserves honorable mention as well. This book is very hard to find. Again, I'm not going to take it out of the sleeve because it's kind of, hard to then put it back in with one hand. But this book deserves honorable mentions as well. This is Black Cat #1, Virgin variant. Obviously, this is a cover swipe, an homage or whatever, cover swipe to Amazing Spider-Man 601, which I am going to put right next to it. Now I have them both in a yellow label and one in a 9.8, but this one is newsstand, right? So that's the special part. That book is very hard to find. It has the Lachette Noir in the corner. I think the Virgin variant at a 9.8 goes for double what the trade dress goes for. Double and a half. So not 3 times, but double and a half. The trade dress will go for like $300. Unsigned will go for like $300 on eBay. The Virgin variant will go for like $1,000. So almost, a little bit over 3. Virgin variant signed will go for like $1,000 on eBay. Got that on an auction, steal. The timing at the ending of the auction was terrible. I was the only one awake, and I won it. The reason why the Virgin variant is so much more is actually a curious fact. If you guys look it up, the trade dress on Black Cat #1 covers up almost the entirety of Lachette Noir, which is cover D of Black Cat #1, and that's criminal. That is just criminal. But yeah, I'll zoom out, let you guys both appreciate that. You know what? I think this one deserves a take it out of the sleeve moment, take it out of the bag. And I really like these bags. They fit really nicely. It almost looks like they don't even have a bag. Look at that. Just look at that, man. Now, don't compare the size or anything like that. They just look weird because my stands are different angles. So that's the only reason why it should be looking more like this. But yeah, I'm going to go through some things that I will be sending into CGC soon. Just look at those covers, man. These covers are great. Spider-Man leaving MJ's house. Spider-Man coming over to Black Cat's house. You draw your own conclusions. That's why these Campbell covers are so neat. But yeah, that's been this unboxing. Now, for all of you probably thinking, dude, why does he have so many silks? Don't worry, I have the Ramos variant for silk. Don't worry about that. That's staying in the PC. I got them all for really cheap. I got them all, some of them I got them raw, so don't worry too much about that. Any other Campbell stuff in my slab box? I'm looking, and oh yeah, just one more thing. I have a Gwen, Spider-Gwen #1. I think this would have been cool to get signed in like hot pink or something, but I just was like, it's whatever. It's not really worth it. It's in a 9.8 anyway. I don't want to risk the grade for a book that's really not even, you know, that valuable. It's just really nice, really nice cover. That's all the Campbell stuff I got that's graded. The rest of my slabs are, like ASM 300, ASM 184. First Black Cat, 9.4. I'll try to get this in a 9.8. Sorry, should have been zoomed out this whole time. I'll try to get this in a 9.8 in the future. I have ASM 252, ASM 301. I have obviously Venom Lethal Protector #1 Newsstand. I think this book is interesting. It's getting a lot of traction. Amazing Spider-Man 798 first. Norman Osborn as Red Goblin. Red Goblin's coming back, and this is a virgin cover. This book's gonna be hot. I already know it, and it's a 9.8. So I got that for cheap off a trade. Got ASM 300 and a 9.4. I have another one sitting at CGC, custom label. The one sitting at CGC is gonna get a custom label as well. And it's getting pressed with CCS. Pray that it doesn't get damaged. And yeah, man, that's about it. Now we're gonna go over and look at stuff that I am going to be sending into CGC in the future. So we are here. Dark Web just came out. Threw it in a random bag. It was not $5. Ignore that. So some other cool stuff I have here is this Campbell sign. This is ASM 14. Yes. I won't be sending on a CGC. I have Scotty Young. This is just all the stuff, like random stuff that I possibly will send to CGC. I have another 607 Newsstand, Sensational Spider-Man. It's actually Amazing Spider-Man. That's a telltale sign. It's Newsstand. I have another 601 Direct Edition. And of course, I'm only sending in books that I think will receive high grades. I have some Art Germ variants for ASM 1. It's funny, I just won a giveaway of his on his Instagram. So I'll definitely be waiting and seeing which one of the two is in better condition, and then I'll send those into CGC. Another 601 Newsstand, Sensational Spider-Man right there. Obviously, it's amazing. And a top loader. What else we got over here? Another Newsstand, Sensational Spider-Man. Newsstand 601, directed 2 Newsstand 601s, 3 Newsstand 601s. Sensational Spider-Man, amazing. I'm really chasing down that 9.8, man. There are none. I think this is my last shot. This is another Direct Edition. Definitely my last shot. Web of Spider-Man 118. It's first Ben Reilly. Solo Ben Reilly or whatever, I think. I bought that when the market was hot. That's why it's the price that it is. I have another one. I'm really chasing that 9.8. Most books in a 9.8 are expensive. Looking at close to like $1,000, I think. Obviously got my M&M Spidey variant #1. I had 3. I sold 2. I kept the best one. And we'll be sending in that to CGC. I got another 607 in Newsstand. And the reason why I don't have another 606 in Newsstand is because 606 is the highest grade that I got, right, for my Newsstands. 607 is the one where I wanted that grade bump. And 601 as well is where I want that grade bump. Sorry if my camera's crooked here. Doing this with one hand. Spider-Woman 1. 601 Direct. Another Spider-Woman 1. I have Marvel Spotlight 32, I believe, which is the first appearance of Spider-Woman, but it's not a high grade at all. I would just keep that raw. Direct edition. Carnage Mind Bomb. I don't have the flash on, but if I did, you could see this is a foil cover. We'll be sending that in. I think that's a 9.8 potential, dude. Like, a lot of these are 9.8 potentials. Another 601 direct. Another 601 direct. And that's it, pretty much. I have a couple Scotty Youngs in here. And a couple random stuff. Oh, dude. Look at that. How neat is that? Got this for $5. That's the bag that the dark web one is in Amazing Spider-Man 14. Got a Lovesick in here. Got Spider-Man Lost Hunt. Yeah, these are just random stuff. I'll show you quick where I keep all my stuff. There's my bunny, and that's my slab box. One of them, which will be full. That's why I have another one. So this is where I keep all of my books, and I have a cover for all of this. It's like a closet cover. This is another slab box. This is a full box. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. These are empty. This one is full. I know the lighting in here is terrible. This one's full. That's the point. There's another one on over here. There's 2 in here. And my shipping supplies is here at the bottom. But yeah, this is where I keep all my books. I have volumes 4 and 5 of Amazing Spider-Man. Currently collecting volume 6. I have Maximum Carnage, Venom Lethal Protector 1 from the 90s. I have, what else do I have? Superior Spider-Man, the full run. I am going to be getting in Amazing Spider-Man volume 3. And I'm eventually working my way back. I have a couple super rare stuff like, oh, I also have Spider-Man 2099 volume 2, 3? The 2015 run. I have the Scarlet Spider run after the Clone, not the Clone Saga, the Clone whatever, the newest one in the Parker Industries, volume 5 or 6, volume 4 of Amazing Spider-Man when that last Dan Slott run, that Ben Reilly series as well. I'm working my way back, so I'll probably make a better updated video. I'm gonna need to bring this down to put all this other stuff away. But yeah, thanks for sticking by. I will attach the other video in the back, show you proof of the grades before I sent them in. And yeah, man, peace. Clip that I wanted to include here at the end, and I'll be adding this to the end of the YouTube video. This is the post that I made. If you guys aren't following me on my Instagram yet for this YouTube channel, I'm at Spidey Comic Collector on Instagram, at Spidey Comic Collector, same as on my YouTube. We're nearing 1,000 followers here, and my submission post is right here. So as you can see, the newsstand, the 601 newsstand, is 9.4, right on your middle, kind of the bottom middle row, and then the 606 newsstand is a 9.6, and the 9.4 607 newsstand is on the top right corner, and those all came back the same grade. I was hoping for a grade bump. If I would have got 9 6s all across the board, that would have been extremely phenomenal. I would have been extremely happy. 9.4 still, right? Not too shabby. I kind of used the signing as an excuse, right? I was kind of looking for that grade bump. The thought process there was, you know what? I'll get them cracked. I'll get them signed. I'll get them pressed, and then hopefully I get the grade bump. If I do, it's awesome. If it goes down a grade, right? They all come like 9.2, 9.4, 9.2. At least they're signed, right? They're newsstand anyway. They're super rare, low quantities, and they got signed and preserved the grade, so it's a win-win. In the top middle, right next to 607, the top middle, you can see the raw First Silk, the Amazing Spider-Man 4, the Campbell variant. You can see the raw copy right there that I was talking about, and that window bag that I made on my own. That's hence that silver. I put in a sticky note, please sign in silver. Hence that silver signature going up the side the right side. And same thing with the Amazing Spider-Man 15, the J. Scott Campbell exclusive variant. I also had that signature up the right side, or down the right side, depending on how you look at it, in a gold marker I requested. And then if you go look at the bottom left, I had that green label, Renew Your Vows #1 Campbell variant, already signed by Dan Slott. And you know, my thought process there was, you know what, I send it in, get it signed by Campbell. I'll get, you know, have a double signature, even though it's like yellow and green label. It's like a married label, letting you know it's like signature qualified, not just qualified. It's a verified signature qualified. Green, it's like has a little green strip at the top, and the rest of the label is yellow. And I was like, you know what, if I get a 9.8, I'll leave it as is, and I'll be happy. If I get a 9.6, I will be sending it to CBCS, get both of the signatures verified, and have just a yellow label or row that's staying in the PC. Anyway, next to that, you got, I think, what was the best, most successful submission out of the bunch. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy about those Newsstands keeping their grade and being signed. But I feel like going from an 8.5 to a 9.4 signed, that's just a huge bump, right? That's a huge bump. I'm not sure why it was an 8.4 the first time, the first go around. When I did buy it off of eBay, that 8.5, that first self, that Amazing Spider-Man 4, that Campbell variant, the seller did say that it could get a grade bump if it got pressed. I just never thought it would have went up. You know, it went up from 8.5 to 9 to a 9.2 to 9.4. It's like 3 grade bumps, right? I didn't think that was possible for that book. So, you know, whatever they did at CCS, CGC's like official presser, you know, I really appreciate it. So that's the end of the book. That's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe, and go follow me on my Instagram. Thanks, guys. See you next time.